Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into a topic I know a lot of you are passionate about, raising eco-conscious kids.
It's such an important conversation. And we've got two great guides to dig into today, explaining sustainability to children and sustainable parenting.
Both are full of practical tips and insights, so let's jump right in.
Sounds good to me.
Now, I think a lot of parents, myself included, can get a little overwhelmed, right? Like, where do we even start with this whole sustainability thing?
Absolutely. It can feel like a huge and complicated issue.
And it is a big issue. But what I appreciate about explaining sustainability to children is that it emphasizes the importance of simplifying the concept for young minds.
Yeah, they have this great analogy of a garden.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Because it makes it relatable, right?
Yeah.
Totally. We water plants so they grow, we weed the garden to keep it healthy, and we harvest what we've grown.
It's about helping kids understand those cause and effect relationships.
And just like we take care of our gardens, we have to take care of our planet.
Exactly. We make choices to keep things healthy and balanced. It's that simple.
Well, simple to say, but sometimes harder to put into practice. So how do we actually explain that to, say, a 5-year-old?
Right. Sustainable parenting suggests turning everyday actions into teachable moments.
Okay, I like that. So instead of just saying, don't waste water, we can talk about where water comes from and how much effort it takes to get it to our homes.
Make those invisible systems visible, right?
Yes. And we can even turn it into a game. Like who can brush their teeth with the least amount of water?
I love that. It's about making it fun and engaging.
Absolutely. And speaking of engaging, both guides talk about the power of storytelling.
Oh, for sure. Stories are such a powerful tool for learning, especially for kids.
Right. And you don't have to look any further than the Lorax for a classic example. It introduces kids to environmental themes in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to stop there. We can encourage kids to come up with their own stories, their own eco-heroes.
What a cool idea.
Imagine the conversations they could spark. Instead of just passively consuming stories, they're actively thinking about solutions and imagining themselves as agents of change.
And that's where things start to get really exciting, because once we've sparked that interest, we can start channeling it into action. So how do we actually get those little eco-warriors in action?
Well, luckily, both of these guides are packed with fun ideas.
Yeah, they're not just talking that theory here. They get into the nitty-gritty of sustainable living with kids.
Exactly. And they make a great point that it doesn't have to be a chore. In fact, it shouldn't be.
Totally. We're talking gardening, nature walks, upcycling projects, all sorts of fun stuff.
And it's not just about keeping them busy. These activities have some serious educational value.
100%. Like, take gardening. It's not just about, digging in the dirt. It's a chance to learn about where food comes from, about the different plants and insects that make up a healthy ecosystem.
Right. It's hands-on learning at its finest.
And I bet kids retain so much more that way compared to reading it in a textbook.
Oh, absolutely. And what about those nature walks? I mean, you can turn a simple walk in the park into a full-blown science lesson.
Right. Learning about local plants and animals, the changing seasons, even the impact of pollution.
And you can even take it a step further with those citizen science projects.
Oh, yeah. Like, imagine your kid helping to collect data on butterfly populations or testing the water quality in a local stream.
How cool is that?
So cool. Talk about empowering kids and showing them that they can make a real difference.
Exactly. And it helps them connect with their local environment in such a meaningful way. They're not just learning about the Amazon rainforest from a distance. They're seeing the impact of their actions right in their own backyard.
Right. And speaking of impact, sustainable parenting really hones in on the importance of community involvement.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to make changes at home, but imagine if we all band together as a community.
Right, like a whole neighborhood working together to live more sustainably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything huge, right?
Yeah, it can be as simple as choosing the local farmers market over a big supermarket chain or organizing a park cleanup day.
I love that. And those community gardens.
The best. Not only are you growing healthy food, but you're also building relationships and strengthening your community.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
And imagine the conversations those experiences could spark. Sharing tips, brainstorming new ideas, it creates a ripple effect.
Absolutely. And that kind of leads into another important point that sustainable parenting touches on, talking to our kids about the bigger picture.
You mean like not shying away from the environmental challenges we're facing?
Exactly. We don't want to overwhelm them, but we also don't want to sugarcoat things.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
Being honest about the problems, but also emphasizing that there's hope and that we can all be part of the solution.
Exactly.
Because I really think that's key. When kids feel empowered, when they believe they can make a difference, that's when real change happens.
100%. It's about nurturing that sense of agency.
And it's not just about the environment either. These are valuable life skills we're talking about.
Totally. Critical thinking, problem solving, resilience.
These are qualities that will serve them in all aspects of their lives.
Exactly. It's about raising well-rounded, compassionate, and engaged human beings.
You know, it's funny. We talk about raising eco-conscious kids,
Mm,
but it really is about so much more than just the environment, isn't it?
it really is. It's like we were saying, those skills,
Yeah,
like critical thinking and problem solving, those are important for everything.
everything. And it's about raising kids who are, compassionate and engaged and who really want to make a difference in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who approach challenges with like a sense of hope and optimism,
Yeah.
not just doom and gloom.
Yeah, because we need a little bit of that these days, don't we?
We'll need a lot of it. The world needs it.
Big time. So as we wrap up our deep dive here, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from these two guides? Like, what really stuck with you?
You know, for me, it's that sense of interconnectedness.
Ooh, tell me more.
Like helping kids understand that their actions, even the small ones, they have a ripple effect.
Yes.
They impact the world around them.
They're a part of something so much bigger than themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that understanding, that connection, it's not just good for, the planet. It's good for the soul,
I love that. It's good for the soul.
Mhm.
And I have to say, these guides have given us so much to think about.
Yeah,
So many practical tools and inspiring ideas.
definitely.
But also, I think a good reminder
What's that?
that we don't have to be perfect to make a difference.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mhm.
We can't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Exactly. Every little step we take, every conversation we have with our kids, it all matters.
It all adds up.
It really does. So to all you amazing parents out there listening,
We're all in this together, right?
we are. Keep asking those questions, keep exploring these ideas, and keep nurturing those eco-conscious hearts and minds.
Because the future is counting on us.
It really is, and on them.
Mm.
And on that note, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us for this depth dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll catch you next time.